This One's Wife. ILBW 2025. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor, and a happy new year to you all. Well, how did your new year commence as you woke on the 1st of January? Perhaps you woke up as fresh as a daisy, having decided that you weren't interested in seeing in the new year, and rather you went to bed at a sensible hour and slept soundly, waking the next morning like it's any other day, and up you got and you went about the day's activities. Perhaps you sat down and decided to formulate those New Year resolutions, half-heartedly going along with it because the members of the family have done so, knowing that ultimately, like every year preceding, you won't stick to them. Perhaps you've decided that, well, it's not quite the time for the New Year's resolutions. I'll start them on the 2nd, or, well, actually, I'm off work until the 6th, so I'll have a few more days of eating leftover chocolate and binge watching series on television. I don't need to be anywhere, so let's put all of that nonsense on hold. Or perhaps it was the case that you eventually staggered out of your bed, clutching your head, stomach churning because you'd overindulged the night before, and you're wondering, who on earth is that person lying in your bed? Or maybe, just maybe, you thought that you would put on some white clothing, pop down to the beach, draw in the sand, giggle like a maniac, show off your oversized feet, and then post it to an Instagram account, behaving like a 12-year-old. Yes, as many of you know, the Instagram-loving bitch wife, as South Park so memorably labelled her, has finally posted something on Instagram. The account was established way back in 2022, just under her first name, and nothing happened with it. She then, in 2023, hinted at a return to Instagram, but nothing happened. It remained silent throughout 2024, although she did pop up briefly with an ARO Instagram site, but beyond that, nothing happened. And here we are, in 2025, and a short video has been posted by her, showing her against grey skies. Has she moved from beige to grey? Has she faded to grey, as Visage once sang? There she is, appearing as if she's in some kind of tampon advert, running across the beach, stooping to draw in the sand, probably the 5th take before she got the numbers in the right order, and all purportedly filmed by Prince Harry. More about that separately. Some content eventually appearing on Instagram. But what's behind this launch? Why now? Well, as always, because you're watching a narcissist, she's driven to do this in pursuit of the prime aims. That's what's behind her activity. Narcissism has suggested to her that she creates this video. I doubt that it was created on New Year's Day. It was probably created at a time period much earlier and has been held in reserve because she wants to be able to do something on New Year's Day to say, look at me. If there were bigger announcements to be made, they would be made. We would have the PR puff pieces. This suggests that quite possibly the money has run out or is running out for those PR puff pieces so that she isn't able to utilise them, and that there's no great announcement to make, so she has to just go for the cryptic 2025 to suggest big things are coming. You'll remember over a year ago she hinted at exciting things on the horizon, or words to that effect, and what manifested? The square root of fuck all. Once again, this one's wife is utilising social media in order to assert control over an audience, to draw fuel by way of their responses. to manage her facade as a content creator. It certainly met with success because there has been widespread reporting of it and widespread comment about it below the line and across social media. Much of it, of course, unfavourable, but nevertheless it's prompted a reaction and has provided her with the fuel that she subconsciously craves. To that end, it is a success. But once again, it is demonstrative of the fact that she has run out of options. Ordinarily, we would be told about things by way of the PR puff pieces, but not this time. This smacks of an individual that needs to assert control in a much closer manner by actively going out and creating something herself and then having it posted on the waiting Instagram account. This posting is naturally driven by her narcissism, as is everything that she does when it comes to interactions with other people. Interestingly, the comments for the post were turned off. More about that separately and what all of that means. But what does this show? Whilst naturally it is driven by her narcissism to assert control over the audience and draw fuel from them, what does this appearance now, in terms of the creation of content for Instagram, show us? In a word, failure. In 2 words, abject failure. She has failed as a royal. She has failed as an A-lister. She has failed in relation to a lifestyle brand. She has failed in relation to content creation. Spotify got rid. Lemonada is parked, is dormant. And this also tells me that in relation to Netflix, there's no renewal of the 5-year deal, that they have learned their lesson and will no longer continue to have anything to do with her. Hitherto, I suspect that the arrangement with Netflix was that she couldn't utilise social media, so they kept a tight rein on the provision of content to avoid the possibility of leaking information and so forth. And the fact that she is able to put this out on her own Instagram account now suggests to me that the exclusivity arrangements that were covered by the Netflix deal may well have expired, and that underpins the fact that they aren't going to renew. This once wife started out as a mediocre actress with a reasonably successful blog. It had around about 1 million followers, which is no small beer. She posted that to social media. She had a social media account. And then, as you know, she ensnared the dim-witted ginger prince, and we have seen what has happened since. But now, look where she is back to. Social media. She's done this now as ever driven by her narcissism, but it's happened now because she's failed. The options have dried up. There are no partnerships, there are no big deals. She has to resort now to going back to Instagram in order to try and get what she requires. What will she actually be using this account for? Well, I'm going to explain to you in a separate video the options in relation to that, so that you can understand more about the mindset of this particular individual. But essentially, this activity of posting a laughable video, which you can find great entertainment in picking apart for its patheticness, but demonstrates the fact that she has failed, that she has essentially gone right back to where she started, that she has not succeeded. The post has got engagement, and in actuality, what would have been better is for most people to have not commented about it, to not speculated as to is Harry there or not, to have not dissected the video to point out, for instance, that it looks like she had written 2025 already in the sand and had to do another take, that there wasn't the prolific commentary about it. For instance, in the Daily Mail, it attracted 4,800 comments. The media continues to post about her because they know that people will read, they know that people will watch, they know that people will comment, they know that people will make videos about her, such as myself. To make her go away, as I've explained so many times before, requires no engagement. But what this does show is what an abject failure she is, trotting out moves that she utilised years ago because the options and opportunities have now truly dried up. More to come in relation to why the comments were turned off and what she's going to do with this platform now. So join me there shortly. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.